Okay, start the recording.
Yep, thank you, Jace. So today we have a bit unusual SIG PM meeting because once again we have overlap with CNCF meetings. I apologize about it. I have finally figured out how can we avoid it, so I will send a new invitation shortly. We'll secure the same slot, but on different use days, just not overlap with CNCF. Speaking about the features for 1.8 release, that will be like probably the single topic for discussion today at the SIG PM meeting. So we have 35 confirmed features on the Kubernetes features tracking board. If somebody can open the Kubernetes features repo and sort by the milestones, you'll find that we have much more features labeled under 1.8 milestone, approximately 47 as far as I remember, but the difference is made because some of these features are labeled with 1.8 milestone, but they are not actually updated for the release. All of these features are labeled with help wanted features, so if you'll sort all the features without help wanted label, you'll find the actual number of the features. Just a few stats. So as Jace has mentioned before, we have a bit interesting release in terms of the general strategy. So we have most of our features. Yeah. So most of our features are under beta or alpha label, but most of the alpha features are not delivering some brand new functionality. They're simply enhancing the existing functionality. So we are following the same idea that we had before the release has been started. So we are still moving to the stabilization release.
So Ihor, I'm looking at the features repo. So you said we should look at, well, if we look at not help wanted, but in milestone 1.8, that's 49 open features.
Yes.
But you're saying these are not all in the release.
Right. So help wanted, most of these features are not confirmed. We're still trying to figure out are these features are delivered, but from my perspective, they are not delivered. If Jace has any updates on this, please move on. But I don't have any information that these features are delivered, so we have to move them out of the milestone.
Okay. So how do we know which features are delivered?
They actually have, per this features tracking spreadsheet, they all track it in the spreadsheet. Most of them have documentation and APR links. So the actual information should be in the features tracking spreadsheet.
Okay. So help wanted doesn't help, yes?
Yes.
There's only 13 features in Farsa. Okay, that's fine. Let's look at the features tracking spreadsheet. Where is that?
Let me share the link with you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Right.
I shared the link into Zoom chat.
Yep. Okay, and I'm sharing the screen, so you should all be able to see the features tracking spreadsheet. All right, so there are 35 total features, 15 alpha, 17 beta, 3 stable. And I think one of the things we need to do is to figure out what is our messaging for this release, right? Is that something we're going to do in this call?
Yeah, I'm currently working on that. So the general idea for messaging is that actually Jace has mentioned. So with the mostly stabilized core and with the mostly stabilized basic functionality, we're enhancing our extra functionality for Kubernetes. So if you'll notice, most of the features that are labeled with alpha beta stage that are not absolutely brand new features that haven't ever appeared on Kubernetes, but that are the features that are simply enhancing some existing functionality, like with networking policy, like with kubeadm, like with storage features, and so on.
Can we go through this and figure out what the major features are that we're going to highlight and therefore what the themes are?
Yes. Probably you have
different agenda.
Sorry?
Is that part of the agenda, or can that be part of today's
agenda? That's fine. So that was my initial plan. So we have to discuss their release related stuff, forgetting the features. So let's do it.
Great. So usually I start with the stable features, but there's only 3 stable features. I don't know if these are big big features that we should highlight? Can anyone comment on these? These three?
There is one notable feature delivered by SIG by Jess Frazell. It's line number 39.
Mm-hmm. Yes, can you say more about privilege escalation?
I don't know. Like, I'm not familiar exactly with the context, but in brief, I'm sure that this is a notable feature. But again, that was the feature that has been appeared in Kubernetes for the first time. It hasn't been an alpha or beta feature. So if you have any people here from SIG, it would be great if somebody will comment on it.
Is there anyone from SIG, given that this is now a stable feature, but it hasn't been there before?
I can certainly comment about what the intent of it is. It allows the system admin to both restrict container workloads so that when they start, they're unable to gain more privileges, which makes the cluster more secure. Okay. And it's exposed through the pod security policy knob. It exposes a capability that's been in the kernel and the container runtime engines for quite a while. It was fairly uncontroversial, both in its design and the security benefits to existing cluster operators.
Great. Gates whether or not a user is allowed to set the security context of a container. Okay, so that's the default for them. Okay. Great. Definitely looks like one that we should highlight. It's given that it's stable.
I think it definitely deserves a little bit more of a paragraph on how it actually helps an end user. So that would be, I'll nag SIG off about that.
Yeah. These docs, if that can be added to this doc, that'd be great. And then we can use that as a
also, what's going on is that the SIGs themselves are providing their major themes for their 1.8 cycle. So there's currently node, network, auto-scaling, instrumentation. Storage has PR up. Cluster Lifecycle is going to get their PR up soon. Robert Bailey is handling that. SIG needs to add a paragraph as well. So presumably they would add that.
Where are these being added?
To the release notes draft.
To the release notes, yeah.
Yeah, to the release notes draft. So we're the major themes by SIG to help introduce users to the SIG structure of the project itself. And there's also the section by component, because that's how we assume the users are thinking about things today.
So that's wonderful. That's really great. I mean, I think that's a great addition to the release notes. So I mean, good job by the release team. But the CNCF PR team and needs to get the themes for the release, which are kind of a higher level, and usually that's what we highlight in the blog post and so forth. And so, given that there are multiple companies involved in the community, it's important to kind of say what those big themes are. So it sounds like this is one potential big theme is the security one. Anything else? What about these two storage features? Is there anything that we should highlight about these at a theme level?
I suppose that number 40 is not so important, even if it doesn't need docs.
Yeah, I think that you're right.
Number 41, we can open it. As far as I remember, it was an existing feature for one of the previous releases.
Yeah, it's an existing feature, and we didn't highlight it before. So maybe we should move on to the beta features, unless anyone has.
Speaking about these two stable features delivered by SIG storage, we can simply highlight them in a section of the storage enhancements.
Right.
Because we have enough features that are delivered by SIG storage, so we can highlight them there.
Yeah. Okay, what about the beta features? Anything here?
Yeah, so the notable features from beta, again, if somebody has any suggestions or ideas, please comment here. So workload controls version 1 beta 2 is a notable one, delivered by SIG apps.
Okay, which others?
Cron job to beta had to be a notable one, but there is a strange situation with the feature issue and the features repo, because this feature, for some reason, it has been moved out of milestone. So now I'm trying to figure out what was the reason of moving out of milestone. Was this a mistake, or this feature hasn't been really delivered? So we have to double check that. A few enhancements with Kubernetes. delivered by SIG cluster lifecycle.
Yeah, it seems like the kubeadm could be a big, I don't know, Robert Bailey, if you're still there, like, is that something that you would consider a big highlight of the release, or?
I mean, it's not quite as big as we were hoping because we missed our actual goal, but Lucas wrote up the release notes for it already. So I don't know how we are choosing whether to promote things into overall themes versus per SIG themes. It seemed like last time I heard from Jace, it was more on the per SIG themes, and that's definitely within our SIG theme for this release.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Jace then, that this makes sense to maybe just highlight on a per SIG basis, but maybe not as a highlight for the whole release. I mean, typically if it's for the whole release, there should be multiple features. Okay.
Yeah, they have multiple features. So SIG cluster lifecycle with kubeadm, they have multiple features, 2 beta and 1 or 2 alpha features related to kubeadm.
Oh, okay.
So again, we can add like the short notice in the general release announcement that there are also some enhancements to kubeadm behavior.
Yeah, actually, then that maybe should be a big theme then.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing, Aparna, where we're seeing the organic evolution of themes as opposed to having themes dictated and then implemented. So this is, I think, a watershed release for Kubernetes, especially given that this was supposed to be a stabilization and not a feature-specific release.
Yeah. Yeah, historically, it's been a little bit like this where, given that it's an open source community, we haven't been sort of saying like, this has to be the theme, this is what everybody's going to work on. So it has been sort of bottom up that way. The RBAC and then the rotation, I think with the SIG auth work, I think security seems like it's a big theme for this one, this release.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the client credential rotation. I'm not sure about the majority of this feature in terms of the global release, but again, in a general theme of the security enhancements, it's a notable one. But with RBAC version 1, it's really big achievement, so we should definitely highlight it.
Yeah. So I, for whatever reason, don't have access to modify this, but I'll just note that I probably logged in from my wrong account. But so probably 33. 34 and 39, right? Could be, I don't know about this rules review API, but that could be part of a theme. If you want to mark those, Ihor.
Yeah, I'd like to mark that in my notes.
And I think it's a big achievement for the community as a whole. And then it seems like there's a theme around lifecycle with kubeadm.
Right, yes.
Actually, maybe the network policy stuff also goes into the security piece, do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's security/networking, right?
Yeah, so then, so 33, 34, 39, 29, and 30 together, I would say. And then definitely seems like there's a lot of work on auto-scaling.
Yeah, most of the features from the auto-scaling group and SIG instrumentation there are not also the brand new features, but they have been hardly developed since the previous releases. So we should also.
And I would say, Jace, this is an area where it is. This is what we were expecting from this release, like both on security and auto-scaling. I think this is what we were expecting. Now, the lifecycle stuff is. I think we would have been happy whenever it came. Been waiting for it for a while. So
yeah, and they had a pretty big disappointment in the sense that they were working hard to get the self-hosting stuff over the line, and it just didn't happen. So I think that they expended a lot of effort trying to get the part of their stuff done, and it just didn't materialize. So I think any ones that can be identified as their own self-identified themes, I think are really good to promote because we don't want to disenfranchise them, and we definitely want them to feel energized for the next release.
Right. And so, which are the self-identified themes? The cluster lifecycle has one.
I think that it's in the notes. I think they've added something, but if not, I'll make sure that gets added.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So definitely one around security, just because it makes sense given all the features in the release. And then so auto scaling, should we do one, or these are all beta features? None of them is.
Yeah, all of them are beta features.
And this one doesn't have any docs. Actually, most of the auto-scaling ones don't have docs, so I don't think we should maybe do a theme around auto-scaling. Take that back.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like it's ready for public consumption.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose that's always. Oh yeah, we have third-party resources like X third-party resources. We have CRD moved to beta. It's line number 22. We should definitely highlight it.
Yeah, okay, but not as a theme, right? We should just highlight it in the post.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's good. CRD to beta. Okay. I mean, we should highlight many of these. Like the cron job stuff should be highlighted too. Lots of users are waiting for that. So
yes.
Generally, I mean, everything will be highlighted in the release notes, but then in the blog, I think we should highlight many of these. But in terms of themes, overall themes, it seems like KubeADM cluster lifecycle is one, and then security is the other one. Is there a third theme? Like maybe looking at the alpha features now?
Yeah, there are many storage features.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I'd like to mention there are some extra SIG node features, but they for some reason they're not mentioned in the spreadsheet. Probably Caleb, you can highlight some information. Why don't we have some of the SIG node features here? For example, CRI test suite, as far as I remember, and container ID integration. Are you aware of this? They actually labeled with 1.8 milestone, but there are no updates regarding them, so I'm not sure if they have been delivered.
The CRI validation test suite isn't really user-facing. It's for other CRI implementers. So Containerd ships on its own release schedule because it's solely out of the tree. So they have done work on it, and their issue is updated in the feature tracking spreadsheet. But there's probably not anything. At least SIG node didn't have any plans to say anything about it in the release note. Okay. So storage nodes. We have some storage features. I'm not sure that storage enhancements should be the themes for the release. I don't see any significantly major features here.
Well, so yeah, either we should ask autoscaling SIG why they don't want to do docs because they have several features, or I guess if they don't, then I guess that's fine. Is there any other SIG that is highlighting?
For autoscaling, they've already posted their SIG theme for 1.8, and they say they were focused on stability for existing functionality, particularly around metrics gathering.
Okay.
So that's their theme is stability and predictability of existing.
That's fine. So then, actually, maybe that is our other theme then. Maybe that's our first theme is stability, and so under stability, then we have things like autoscaling.
Yes.
And what else? The scheduling stuff looks really cool, but it's very alpha, it seems. So I wouldn't. And it's like Node doesn't want to say anything. Maybe storage is the other. CRDs kind of.
Well, storage is more about enhancing the existing functionality with some new alpha features, but not delivering something rock solid with stable features.
I hate to do this, everybody, but I have a hard stop like right this moment. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the meeting. But can we continue this discussion in the SIG release channel so that we're all on the same page about this?
I think we're at least from my perspective, I think we have the three themes. So we'll start with we have stability, and we'll highlight autoscaling and storage, and then we have security, and then we have KubeADM. So we got the three themes. I think let's just write it up. I think Ihor and I will write it up like we've done in the past, and I believe there's a messaging coordinator, Swarna, so we need to loop her in and so forth, and obviously Jace. So
One note also from me, you can probably may notice it's a request to our partner Jace that we are going to have a meeting with Natasha Woods from CNCF some like today or tomorrow, so it would be great if you'll continue this discussion also at that meeting.
Okay, that's fine. Great. So can we take a document into that, Ihor, if you want to share, or I can start one, but let's just get these themes down, start writing the blog post, and then we have something to talk about with Natasha.
Yeah, let's add these themes to the existing draft that we currently have.
Cool.
I've started mentioning them. but not as the major teams, but as the enhancements, so we can work
Yeah.
on the existing.
If you could send it in this chat, I'll open it and get it going.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.